Here's an example of an infinitive being used to modify an adjective. This statement, remember, come from John the Baptist, as he says that he's not worthy to untie the sandals of the one who's coming after him. The word ikonos is the word worthy, which is an adjective. And then luci is an infinitive form of the verb luo, which means to loose and or to untie. And so in this case, the adjectival use of the infinitive is being used to modify another adjective. But it's easy enough to see how that works. Substantival uses are those in which an infinitive is acting as a noun or some kind of substantive. It can be used as a subject of your main verb. You all have a separate verb, and its action is being performed by the subject, which is identified by the infinitive, and it can be used as an object. Here's an example of both. Used as a subject, we find in Romans 7:18. This is where Paul says, "For to desire is present with me." Some translations will say, "For the desire is present with me," or "I have the desire," something like that. But this is how it's structured in Greek.
So
The infinitive here.
What's the "ho" at the beginning then? The "the" at the beginning.
What's the question?
You know, how does that, I mean...
Okay, you've got a postpositive conjunction here, the "for." So this definite article goes with the infinitive.
Because it's acting as a noun.
Yeah.
Right.
And you have the post-positive, whatever you said,
Postpositive
the
conjunction.
gar sitting there in between.
Right.
Which we wouldn't normally see if it was like a participle, because it would be near it. Or like a noun, it would be right next to it usually.
Well, in postpositive conjunctions, you're going to have those. They're always going to separate
Okay.
the definite articles. Even if it was a noun, there would be a postpositive conjunction there.
Okay.
But what you need to recognize is that, yes, when you see that definite article
That's acting as a
before an infinitive, that's your clue that this is a substantival use. Particularly if that definite article is a nominative or accusative. So you're going to have
okay.
so you're going to have that clue that this is how your infinitive is being used. And then you have, of course, a regular verb there. To be present is again another clue. If you've got a regular verb and any one of these other kind of verbal forms, that's your clue that that verbal form is being used some way other than as the verb of your sentence. If it isn't there, if all you have is an infinitive, then this might be a verbal. But this is a case where it's clearly substantival.